Thanks for spending some of your Mother's Day with us here on TCM. I'm Alicia Malone. Our next movie mum is played by Ginger Rogers, although, truth be told, her character only appears to be a mother and one by default. From 1939 and directed by Garson Kanin, it's a comedy called Bachelor Mother. Rogers stars as a single woman newly laid off from a department store who stumbles upon a baby. And once she's seen with the tot, everyone naturally assumes it is hers. That includes department store owner Charles Coburn and his son, a potential suitor played by David Niven. It's a lively and fun film that pushed a few boundaries when it was released, dealing with single motherhood, but the screenplay by Norman Krasner deftly handles any sensitivities of the situation and provides plenty of laughs along the way. Krasner felt it was one of the best screenplays of his career, and the film went on to become one of the biggest hits of 1939 for RKO. And as for Ginger Rogers, this was one of three films she made that year. Another was with her frequent co-star and dancing partner Fred Astaire, the story of Vernon and Irene Castle. Bachelor Mother wasn't Rogers' first time in a film without Astaire, but it was the first movie that really made people sit up and take notice of her full slate of talents. Not only was she a good actress and skilled comedienne, but she could also bring in movie audiences as the prime focus of the story. And she even gets to do a brief bit of dancing as a contestant in a dance contest. Meanwhile, Rogers' co-star David Niven had been in films for several years, but this was his first time as a leading man in a comedy, and he is as charming and funny as ever. Let's get into it from 1939 and also with Frank Albertson. It's Bachelor Mother. Ha ha, indeed. As I mentioned before the movie, Bachelor Mother ended up being a huge hit for RKO and for Ginger Rogers. So it's interesting to note that Rogers was not excited about the project when she first read the draft of the script. She thought the storyline was thin and it was full of cardboard characters. She even wrote a 3-page letter of protest to production chief Pandro S. Berman. But director Garson Kanin eventually brought her around, and she later said that she was grateful that he did. She also loved working with David Niven and the precious baby, as she called him. That was little Albert Copeland Jr. playing Johnny in the movie, the only film he ever made. At least it was a good one. And by the way, that thin storyline Rogers was so worried about, it ended up garnering an Oscar nomination for Felix Jackson. Stay with us here on TCM because we've got Rosalind Russell as a stage mother to end all stage mothers in a film co-starring Natalie Wood.
Next on TCM, Gypsy, then Gone with the Wind, and later, A Silent Sunday with Laurel and Hardy. Find a fine mess of silence on TCM tonight.